The abandoned mine outside our town had been sealed for almost 30 years. Everyone knew the story, even if the details changed depending on who you asked. Some said there had been a collapse. Others claimed gas leaks forced the company to shut everything down overnight. A few older residents insisted something worse had happened deep in the lower tunnels, something the mining company never reported. Whatever the truth was, the entrance had been blocked with thick concrete and steel decades ago. Warning signs surrounded the site, half rusted and barely readable. The entire place sat alone at the edge of the hills, slowly being reclaimed by weeds and dust. Naturally, that made it irresistible. 3 of us drove out there late one night with cameras and flashlights. We told ourselves we were just exploring, just looking for an abandoned structure to film for our small online channel. The plan was simple: check the entrance, get a few eerie shots, and leave. But when we arrived, the first thing we noticed was that the seal had been broken. The concrete wall across the entrance had cracked wide open. A jagged gap had formed near the bottom where chunks of concrete had fallen away. It looked recent. The edges weren't worn down by weather yet. Someone had forced their way in, or something had forced its way out. We stood there for a while debating whether to go inside. The air coming from the tunnel was strangely cold, carrying a stale mineral smell that reminded me of wet stone and rust. Eventually, curiosity won. We crawled through the opening one by one and stepped into the darkness. Our flashlights revealed a wide tunnel sloping downward into the earth. Thick wooden beams lined the walls, many of them cracked and warped from age. Old rails for the mine carts ran along the floor, disappearing into blackness deeper inside. The deeper we walked, the quieter everything became. Not just quiet, muted. Even our footsteps seemed dull, as if the darkness itself was swallowing sound. About 15 minutes in, we reached a section where the tunnel split into 2 directions. That's when we noticed the marks. Long scratches covered the wooden support beams. They weren't tool marks. They ran in uneven lines, deep grooves carved into the wood like something had dragged its claws across the surface. And they continued down both tunnels. One of my friends pointed his flashlight at the ground. There were footprints in the dust. Bare human footprints. But they were wrong. The toes were stretched unnaturally long, and the prints sank deeper than a normal step should have. Like whoever made them was far heavier than they looked. We followed them. The air grew colder with every step. Eventually the tunnel opened into a larger chamber where the mine carts had once turned around. The footprints stopped in the center of the room. At first we thought whoever made them had simply turned back. Then we realized the truth. They hadn't turned around. The footprints just stopped, as if whoever made them had suddenly been lifted straight up into the darkness above. We slowly raised our flashlights toward the ceiling, and that's when we saw something move.